So, I popped into High House Insurance to see if they could quote for my house insurance rather than using the internet. High House got a great deal. So to celebrate, I bought a posh hairdo. It made me look beautiful, gorgeous enough to become a highly paid model. I then won Celebrity Big Brother. I had an affair with an MP. Now I'm promoting a doll of me that says, "Cool blimey, you're well fit."
Happy things happen when you talk face-to-face with High House Insurance. See if we can beat your home insurance quote from the internet. Find us on the High Street, Selsey, or call 606 552.
Hello and a very warm welcome to Manhood Internet Radio. I'm Tony Weiner, your host for this show, and what a full show we have. A new microbrewery, plays, organised visits, and what's on in the area. But before all that, something serious, I have to respond to a complaint. Now it seems we didn't give out the answers to the quiz from 2 weeks ago. I'm really sorry about that. Heads have rolled, and so we go straight over to Keith to put you out of your misery.
Kevin asked us, which song was a number 2 hit for Fat Larry's band in 1982? Well, that was, of course, Zoom. What was the registration plate of Lady Penelope's Rolls Royce in Thunderbirds? That was Fab 1. In the proverb, enough is as good as a what? Well, the answer to that is feast. In which 1980s TV series did Tom Selleck play a private investigator in Hawaii? That was Magnum. And what is another name for a tornado? And that's Twister. And the connection, of course, ice lollies.
Thanks, Keith, and he will be back with the answers to last week's quiz. But now, here's Alison with What's On in Selsey.
Hello there, and welcome once again to our weekly look at what's happening in Selsey. First of all, on Tuesday the 11th of July, it's the mobile soft play session for the under-5s at the Selsey Centre. Sue or Tom are the contacts for that one, 604 642. They start at 10 and finish at 11:30. And then in the afternoon at the Selsey Centre, it's kickboxing for kids between 4:30 and 5:30. Later in the evening, girls' football at the Academy School Lane from 6 until 7, and there's netball for all at the Academy Sports Hall between 7 and 8:30. And don't forget, the Micron Theatre Company are coming to Selsey. Very exciting, they're going to be performing a new play, In at the Deep End. It's in aid of the RNLI, and it will be held in their new boathouse. So that starts at 7:30 and should be finished by 9. On Wednesday the 12th, all day, the woodcarvers meet at the Scout Hut on School Lane. They're a small friendly group of woodcarvers meeting each Wednesday at the Scout Hut, and they help each other out with their various carving activities. Do feel free to drop in, have a look at what they do, and join in if you'd like to. You can find out more information on that on their own website, www.selseywoodcarvers.co.uk. Body conditioning on a Wednesday between 9:15 and 10:15. This is an exercise class at the Selsey Club. Sea Liner Swimming meets at the Oasis Pool on West Sands between 9:30 and 10:30. And it's also the day for the Selsey Model Boat Club on the pond at East Beach, where they sell radio-controlled boats. New members are always very welcome. You need to contact Chris for more information, 601 550, so that's 10 until 12. Fitter Sitters have an exercise class at the Selsey Centre on Manor Road between 10:20 and 11:20. And it's the Selsey WI at the Selsey Town Hall in the afternoon, 2:15 until 4:15. The Selsey Community Choir rehearse between 7 and 8:30 at the Methodist Church Hall, and it's also the evening for carpet bowls at Medmory Primary School between 7 and 8. On Thursday the 13th of July, it's the month for the Jigsaw Puzzle Club. You can come along at any time between 10 and 4. Choose a new jigsaw at 14 Green Lane. You can phone for more information, 605 942, and all proceeds for borrowing the puzzles go to the Sussex Snowdrop Trust. The mobile soft play session takes place as usual on Thursday for the under-5s at the Selsey Centre between 10 and 11:30. And the Venture Club are going on an outing on Thursday the 13th. They're going to Chichester Canal with an optional cream tea. The trip is available to all Venture Club members, but of course booking is essential on 605 115. The cost is £7 for the boat trip. Cream teas will be extra. If you'd like to become a Venture Club member for just £10 a year and benefit from lots of free trips, then do get in touch with them. They are wheelchair friendly. That's between 12:30 and 4 on Thursday. In the afternoon, the Selsey Bridge Club meet at the Selsey Bridge Club, Cox's Road. They're a friendly group of mixed ability. Carol has some more details. 602250 starts at 2 and finishes at 5. Then at Selsey Library between 5:45 and 7:15 in the evening, you can come along to read, chat or just to listen to what's going on. There's also walking football at the Academy. This is for the over 50s who'd like a gentle game of football to keep themselves in shape. Do go along and join them, 6 o'clock until 7:30. For the younger members of our community, the Lighthouse Youth Club for school years 5 to 8 meets at East Beach Church between 6:30 and 7:45. And it's also the evening for carpet bowls at Medmory Primary School between 7 and 8. Don't forget adult basketball at the Academy Sports Hall between 7 and 8. And Beauty and the Beast is going to be showing at the Selsey Cinema Club. You can buy tickets from the Town Hall or by phoning 605 803, or you could also try www.selseycinemaclub.wordpress.com. So that's 7:30 until 8:30, Thursday the 13th of July. Moving on to Friday, the Sealer Island Swimming Club meet from 9:30 until 10:30. They're down at the Oasis Pool on Bun Leisure. And there's a steady and strong class for those people who'd like to improve strength and balance. It focuses on improving strength, posture, balance and confidence. It's £4 a session, pay as you go. Heidi Dunster is running that class. 0782 692 4923. That's Heidi on 0782 692 4923. She runs the class from 11:30 until 12:30. It's also Bridge for Beginners on Friday at the Selsey Club between 2 and 4 in the afternoon. And don't forget the Darby and Joan meet at St Peter's Church Hall for a game of bingo, raffle, a cup of tea and a chat. Sometimes they go out. Transport to the hall is supplied by the Selsey Venture Bus if you're a member. So call Jill Evenden for more information about the Darby and Joan, 604 187, starting at 2 and finishing at 4. Then early evening, the Bright Sparks Youth Club meets for school years 1 to 4 on East Beach Church. That's from 5 until 6. And in the evening, the Selsey Specials Friday Football meet at the Academy School Lane between 6 and 9. Here's something interesting for those people who like their gardens. The Selsey Horticultural Society are having their monthly meeting. It's held at the Selsey Centre. Visitors are always welcome. £1.50 entrance, which includes a raffle and refreshments. Further information on that from Amanda, 604 634. That's from 7:30 until 8:30. Now on Saturday the 15th of July, the Selsey Striders will be meeting in the morning, 8:30 until 9:30. They tell us it's suitable for all and they meet at the Hillfield Road car park. Also on Saturday, we have an artist's wildlife painting workshop. This is being organised by the RSPB. It's an introduction to the basic techniques of watercolour. Booking is essential for this event. The cost is £20 or £16 if you're an RSPB member. You can book that on 641508. The workshop starts at 9:30 in the morning and finishes at 4:30 in the afternoon. On Sunday the 16th of July, 9 o'clock until 10 o'clock, the Selsey Power Rangers will be meeting at Hillfield Road car park. It's also the morning for carpet bowls at Medmory Primary School between 9:30 and 10:30. And the Selsey Model Boat Club also meet on Sundays at the pond on East Beach, where they sell radio-controlled boats. Chris is the contact there, 801 550. That starts at 10 and finishes at 12. And then in the afternoon, carpet bowls at Medmory Primary School between 3 and 4. Monday the 17th of July, once again we have a plea for the Selsey Lifeboat Flag Day. That's being held on the 5th of August, but they are getting names together. If you can help with that one, phone Ros Bonham on 601913 anytime on Monday. Dance and Tone followed by Pilates at the Selsey Centre on Manor Road on Monday, starting at 9:30 and finishing at 10:30. Trip down memory lane in the afternoon, Kiss Me Kate, starring Howard Keel and Catherine Grayson. This is being organised by Movies for Memories. Booking, as usual, is essential. You need to run 201616 for Kiss Me Kate, starting at 1 o'clock. All should be over by 3:45. Then again in the afternoon we have the beginners Tai Chi session at the Selsey Centre on Manor Road. This promotes emotional and physical health in a very gentle way. You can book that by contacting Tracy on www.lifeandbalance.org.uk. That's from 3:30 until 4:30 at the Selsey Centre. It's the day for the Selsey Basketball at the Academy Sports Hall from 5 o'clock, suitable for ages 7 to 11, and from 6 o'clock, age 12 plus. Also on Monday, the Selsey Striders will be meeting at Hillfield Road car park. If you can run 3 miles, then it's suitable for you, 6:30 until 7:30. Tuesday the 18th of July, the mobile soft play session as usual for the under 5s at the Selsey Centre. Sue or Tom have further details, 604 642. That one starts at 10 and finishes at 11:30. The Selsey Shuttle once again are having a Tuesday excursion. This time they're going to Hedge End, Marks and Spencer's and Sainsbury's. The cost for that trip is £6 per person, picking up any time from 1:15 onwards. They should be back by 5. You need to phone 604416 to reserve your seat for the Selsey Shuttle Tuesday excursion. Later in the afternoon, kickboxing for kids at the Selsey Centre on Manor Road between 4:30 and 5:30. And then it's girls football at the Academy in the evening between 6 and 7. And then at the Academy Sports Hall, netball for all between 7 and 8:30. No more news for now, plenty to do, so I hope you enjoy some of those activities. Bye for now.
Well, another full week for us, and now the answers to last week's quiz.
And there we go, with just what you've been waiting for, the answers to last week's quiz. Now, Kevin asked us what salad is made up of celery, apple, walnuts and grapes, and that is of course Waldorf salad. Which of the 7 wonders of the ancient world were gardens? That's the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Which British Army rank is above captain and below lieutenant colonel? And that's major. What is the symbol of the star sign Libra? And that's scales. And who was the tallest member of Monty Python? Well, of course, that was John Cleese. And the answer? The connection is 40 Towers.
Thank you. And now news about the new enterprise in Selsey. So over to Keith again.
Right, my next guest in the studio today is a gentleman who's about to become very popular in Selsey because he owns a pub. Now, albeit it's a small one, it's a micro pub, and it's going to be opening at 145 the High Street, which used to be the tea rooms, so there's a bit of a switch from tea to beer and gin and stuff. And the gentleman is Edward Sy, and Edward's going to be opening a micro pub. Now, that's not to be confused with a microbrewery. I'm told I shouldn't mention the word microbrewery in front of Edward. Good morning, Edward.
Good morning to you. You can mention a microbrewery because, of course, all the beers that we bring into these micropubs tend to be supplied by these small microbreweries around the counties rather than the large corporations that produce the beers for the mainstream pubs.
So you won't be selling... without wanting to use other brand names, but big brewery beers?
No, absolutely not. No, absolutely not. As I said, the whole concept of micropub is to sell real ales, real ciders from small producers. In fact, in Sussex alone, there's 70 micropubs making anything from 3 to 5 types of beer. They're always developing their beer, which means micropubs tend to have a great selection of beers from all the microbrewers around. As I said, there's 70 in Sussex, probably a similar number in Hampshire, and probably 30 to 40 in Surrey, so they're doing a great job.
Now, will you be selling, other than beers and cider, spirits, wines?
The concept of a micropub generally is that you don't sell spirits or lagers, because most of the beers are served direct from the cask, and most of the ciders are from the farms, straight from polypins. So these aren't pressurized beers, they come straight from the cask from the brewery. Therefore, it's very difficult to have something like a lager, because there's very few microbrewers who actually produce a lager. However, there will be bottled lager, and I've got a little bit of a coup there because I'm being supplied direct from the Goodwood estate just up the road. So I'm very excited about that. They don't tend to supply trade outlets, they tend to keep it for their own farm shop, but they've promised to let me have some for my micropub. The only other way I'm slightly diversifying is I will be selling one gin, and again the reason behind that is that the gin is developed by Brilliant Gin over in Itchenor, just down the road, so it's a local product again, and obviously I'm keen to support local business.
Absolutely, and why should we not do that when we can buy things like gin and cider locally, and the beer, of course. Now, it's quite a small place, it's going to be quite small. Seating, I believe, about 28. 28
seating, still great, there's still lots of standing room, and of course I'm very fortunate in that I have a nice decked area out the back, so people can go and stand outside, or there'll be some limited seating. So I suppose, yeah, it's going to be quite intimate, shall we say, but that's the whole concept of a micropub again.
And I also understand from whispers that there'll be no music, there'll be no games.
That's not quite true. There'll be no amplified music. I am permitted under my premises license to have music, nothing outside, but I can have it inside as long as it's not amplified. And in fact, on the Sunday the 23rd that I open, I've got a duet there, a guitar player and a fiddle player called Celtic Symbol. So if you like really good folk music, and particularly some diddly, then that's the day to come.
Okay, so but a live music as well. So live music,
yes,
very live music.
Yes, I'd very much like.
Intimate.
Yeah, I'd very much like to make a Sunday a live music day. Nothing extravagant, either a single guitar player or a duet. Nothing large, nothing noisy. But yes, Sunday will be music day, and we'll see where we go from there.
Okay. Now, I believe it's called the Crab Pot. Is it?
Call it the Crab Pot. Basically, again, it's in Selsey. Selsey's synonymous with the crab, so it just seemed the perfect name for the pub.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sure we all wish you well with it.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, I can see it getting quite crowded, just for the people that are in this room at the moment.
Yeah, well, I think it will be, and particularly when you consider that here in Selsey, the nearest micropubs are in Worthing and in Southampton, so there's nothing servicing the real ale drinkers in the locality. But I'm also fortunate in that I don't just bring in Sussex beers. I am keeping it local, but that means I can bring in a few Hampshire beers which aren't available locally. And in fact, on my opening week, I've got some Surrey beers, some very good Surrey beers, one from a brewer called Surrey Hills, which won Best Bitter in the country. So that's, again, quite a nice coup for me.
Absolutely. Now, I'm sure I shall wend my way down there, being a real ale drinker for many, many years. Although I do find that some of the smaller breweries, their beer's a little bit flowery and
I can't disagree with you, but at the end of the day, these guys brew to trends. Dark bitters don't sell so well in the summer. It's always golden beers which sell better.
Yes, yeah.
So that's what they're producing, that's what's available. But I do agree with you, but because most of these guys are passionate about what they do, they try to come up with different variations, but beer is like anything, it's down to particular taste. What I will try and do is have different beers in to meet different tastes, but it's great because there's so much good stuff out there.
And of course it's personal taste.
Absolutely.
I actually, in a local pub in Selsey, went in one day where they're quite happy to give you a taster of the guest beers that are on, and they gave me a taste of this beer, and I tried it, and I quite liked it, and I thought, well, I'll be a bit cheeky, I'll have a taste of the other one, and then I thought, no, I should buy a pint and have done with it. And I actually bought a pint of this beer, and I couldn't drink it.
No.
It just did not suit my taste. It's the only time in my life
Well, again,
I've ever been unable to finish a pint.
the fundamentals of micropub, again, it's you're there to serve ale and cider. Testers are a natural part of the process, so you can always try. In fact, I will always offer people to test the beer before they try it. Or we also will have third pints, so you can have a third pint of each of the beers to decide which one you like the best.
What a great idea. Yes, indeed. So you can say I've had 20 of those.
Yeah, well, there'll always be 3 different beers on at any one time, maybe 4, but there'll always be 3. You can either have a little sample of them, or you can have a third of a pint of each, and then stay for the rest when you've decided which one you like the best.
It's a bit of a step backwards, or a step into the past, really, because that's how pubs started. They were very spit and sawdust.
Yep.
And maybe that's the way to go. I don't know.
But again,
that's
the concept of the micro pub. It's to take you back where there's no background music, there's no gaming machines. It's where you go in as a stranger and come out with friends, because it's all about meeting people, talking to people, and it's taking you back to how pubs used to be.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. I mean, the idea of as I say, of not selling lager, or maybe just selling bottled lager, but I once went to Bliss Mill in Telford, which is the Victorian village, and they got a pub there, and you change your money, you go and buy a pint for penny halfpenny or whatever it is. And I went in and I said, I'll have 2 pints of bitter, a pint of lager, please. And the chap said, no, you won't. I said, why is that? He said, it ain't been invented yet. I was right. But
Yes.
so, but really a step back in time. And as I said before, I'm sure we all wish you well with it.
Well, thank you.
And I certainly look forward to coming and tasting your wares.
Well, you'll be very welcome, as will everybody.
Now, just before we go, opening hours, most important, of course.
We're going to have limited hours of opening. We'll open at 12 o'clock till 9:30 from Tuesday to Saturday, and from 12 o'clock till 5:30 on a Sunday. So we don't open late hours. They're quite sociable hours.
Very sociable, hopefully. Right. Well, thanks once again, Edward. And I look forward to seeing you in the not too distant future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good luck with the crab pot. It sounds really wonderful. And now, here is Alison again.
Welcome once again to our weekly look at what's happening in the Witterings and at Bracklesham. On Tuesday, we start off with the Rookwood Lawn Tennis Club group coaching sessions. 2 of those, 10 till 11 and 11 till 12. £4 an hour for each of those, and that's held at West Wittering Sports Field. At Bracklesham Barn between 10 and 11:30, the Little Explorers are meeting to play and learn together. And then there are also 2 sessions of yoga with Elaine, one from 9:30 till 10:30 and the second one 10:45 until 11:45, both those at Bracklesham Barn. In the afternoon at the barn, there's Steady and Strong Strength and Balance, that's between 2:30 and 3:30. And then in the evening, the Beginner Ukulele Club between 6:30 and 8:30. Don't forget the Community Pop Choir rehearse at West Wittering Memorial Hall between 7 and 9. And back at Bracklesham Barn, the Badminton Club meets between 7:30 and 9:30. Free pool at Pond Barn on Tuesday, so that might also be of interest. On a Wednesday, we've got table tennis for adults at Bracklesham Barn between 10 and 12. This is a drop-in and play session. There's also CBT motorcycle training at Bracklesham Barn between 9 and 11, but that is on a pre-booked basis. We've also got belly dancing with Step Inside at Bracklesham Barn between 1 and 2, and Zumba with Louise at the barn between 6:30 and 7:30. There's also surf conditioning. Don't have any more information about that, so you probably need to contact the barn themselves and they'll be able to help you a little bit more on surf conditioning. Couple of specials this Wednesday. Heart Space between 1:30 and 3:30 down at Bracklesham Barn. And then in the evening, line dancing at the Royal British Legion between 7 and 9. And all will be very welcome to that one. Thursday, we've got the Busybugs Toddler Gym at Bracklesham Barn between 9:30 and 12. And then over at the Witterings Medical Centre, it's the morning for Stitch and Yarn between 10:30 and 12:30. And don't forget at East Wittering Library, there's Knit and Natter between 11 and 12:30. Also on Thursday, the Witterings Art Group meet at the West Wittering Memorial Hall between 10 and 12. And then in the afternoon, there's a Keep Fit exercise class at East Wittering Village Hall. That starts at 2 and finishes at 3. West Wittering Short Mat Bowls have their sessions on a Thursday. 2 sessions there, one between 10 and 12, the other in the afternoon, 2 until 4. That's held at West Wittering Memorial Hall. Chris has some more details on that one. 07788 111 325. And in the evening, Mixed Ability Pilates takes place at East Wittering Village Hall between 6 and 7. Also on Thursday, there's the private ballroom and Latin class starting at 7 o'clock at East Wittering Village Hall. You need to book for that session, www.strictlydancinguk.co.uk. Then in the early evening, the Junior Youth Club meets at the Youth Centre between 5 and 6:30. That's for ages 8 to 12. Followed at 6:30 till 8:30 by the seniors. That's 12 to 17 years old. And it's bingo at the British Legion at 7:30 on a Thursday. Now on Fridays, as usual, Pilates meets at Bracklesham Barn between 9:30 and 10:30, and in the afternoon there's short mat bowls at the barn between 2 and 4. At East Wittering Village Hall on a Friday afternoon between 2 and 5, it's Coastliners line dancing. Also in the afternoon, we have Rookwood Lawn Tennis Club group coaching, this time for beginners between 2 and 2:45. That's held at West Wittering Sports Field. And in the early evening, the UK Film Academy meets at Bracklesham Barn between 5 and 9. Jukebox night at Pond Barn on a Friday from 7 until midnight, and there's also the private ballroom and Latin class starting at 7 o'clock at East Wittering Village Hall. You need to book for that one, www.strictlydancinguk.co.uk. As usual on a Sunday, the Windrush Church has their meeting at Bracklesham Barn starting at 10:30 in the morning, and in the evening there's a quiz night at Pond Barn. That one starts at 8. Mondays we have low impact aerobics at Bracklesham Barn between 9:15 and 10:15. And also at the barn, the Little Ducklings Mother and Toddler Group have their session from 9:30 until 11:30. It's also the morning for short mat bowls at Bracklesham Barn between 10:30 and 1. And then in the evening, Louise does her Zumba class between 6:30 and 7:30. Once again, line dancing at East Wittering Village Hall between 7 and 10. And also in the evening, Elaine runs a yoga class between 7 and 8:30. Verity also runs her class at Bracklesham Barn. That's ARO Ladies Beginner Kickboxing. Her class is from 7:30 until 8:30. Back to Tuesday now. Rookwood Lawn Tennis Club have their group coaching sessions at West Wittering Sports Field. 2 sessions there, 10 till 11 and 11 until 12. The cost for both of those is £4 per person per hour. At Bracklesham Barn on a Tuesday, Little Explorers play and learn together. They meet from 10 until 11:30. And Elaine runs 2 yoga sessions on a Tuesday at Bracklesham Barn, one between 9:30 and 10:30, and a short break there, 10:45 until 11:45. In the afternoon, there's the Steady and Strong Strength and Balance class, that's between 2:30 and 3:30, and then early evening, the Beginner Ukulele Club meets from 6:30 until 8:30. Over at West Wittering Memorial Hall on a Tuesday, the Community Pop Choir have their rehearsal from 7 until 9. And then back at Bracklesham Barn, the Badminton Club meets. That's between 7:30 and 9:30 in the evening. And don't forget, there's free pool at Pond Barn every Tuesday. So plenty to keep yourselves active with there. Hope you enjoy some of those activities. Speak to you again next week. Bye for now.
Thanks, Alison. And now something we often see advertised is June Stadius talking to Keith about her organised trips and get-together club.
Right, with me now I've got a lady that's got two hats but only one head. Her name is June Stadius, and June is the June of June's Trips, which I'm sure everybody knows locally, and also the Get Together Club. Good morning, June.
Good morning, Keith.
Now tell us a little bit more about the Get Together Club first, June.
Right, well, we meet every Wednesday, first Wednesday of every month, in the East Wittering Village Hall, with the exception of January. And we have various speakers, demonstrations, sometimes some games, and cream tea occasionally, and even had fish and chips from time to time.
Sounds like a good place to go to me. Food laid on.
Very good indeed. It's open to both ladies and gentlemen, no age limit, upper or lower, and the fee is £12 per year for membership. If anyone comes on an occasional membership, it's £2. And as I say, ladies and gentlemen are both welcome.
Well, good. Now, how many people do you get come along normally?
Got a membership of about 62, I think it is. Average attendance about 50-ish, something like that.
Well attended then out of the membership, yeah.
Yeah, well attended.
50 out of 60 is good
pretty well attended.
Yeah.
The mobility minibus will bring people in if they belong to that scheme. And we get quite a decent turnout.
Yeah, sounds very good. And anybody's welcome, as you say.
Anybody's welcome.
Doesn't matter if some youngster like me wants to come along.
Absolutely, yes. We'd like youngsters like you because we can make use of you and say, can you move that table or those chairs for us?
If you knew me, you wouldn't say that. But I'm falling to pieces at the seams. Now, I'm assuming that you organise different events with the Get Together Club.
Yes, we don't go out and about. It's all meetings in the hall, but it is different, something different every time. As I say, we try to have various speakers, demonstrations. For instance, this year, we're into July coming along now. We've got our summer tea, and then in August it's Know Your Village, which is a bit of a competition with photographs and spotting various places around the village. Then in September we've got a choir coming to sing for us, and they sing in aid of the St Wilfrid's Hospice. They're coming along. Then in October we've got a little girl called Alison. She came to us, where did she come to us? In April. And she's a girl guide, and she is one of only 14 youngsters in the whole country who have the privilege of going to Ethiopia to introduce guiding to the youngsters there.
Wow, that'll be a real experience for her.
Absolutely fantastic. And she came to us in April and told us all about her proposed journey, and she's coming back again in October to tell us what she's done and show us some photographs. And all the folk absolutely fell for her when she came in April. You can always tell if people are interested because there wasn't a shoe shuffling or a coughing or anything going on, and everyone was absolutely interested and rapt.
What a wonderful experience.
And really adopted her. We all fell for her, and she's coming back again. And then in November we've got, we're calling it It's Debatable. We're inviting various people from the community to come and asking our members to put questions to them and work it like a debate on the television, that sort of thing.
Okay, yeah.
Hopefully. And then in December we've got Christmas carols, and we're going to have some stalls and Christmas cake, obviously, and mince pies and so on. And we work for a charity every year. This year our charity is the local youth club.
Oh, brilliant, because there are so many charities round and about locally, on the peninsula especially.
Yes.
There are untold amounts of charities, and the youth club usually figures some way down the list, I'm afraid to say. So it's nice to see somebody get...
Well, most of our members are of an age, but we like to support the youngsters, and I think it's very important that we oldies appreciate the youngsters and show them that we understand them.
I'm sure us youngsters appreciate it.
No, I'm sure you youngsters do.
Yeah, I'm sure the youngsters do appreciate it. Yeah. And it builds a good rapport between the young people and the older people, because they just don't understand each other. You know, I don't understand youngsters nowadays, and they're no different to when I was young.
Exactly.
Main, so,
If we think back, when we were young, we did strange things and wore strange clothes, and hopefully...
And as we get older, that doesn't change.
No, it doesn't. Absolutely. We're even stranger.
Absolutely. Now tell us a little bit about your other hat, June's Trips.
My other hat, June's Trips. Right, well, I've been doing this for some years now. I try to do a trip out somewhere or other of interest every month. Try to vary it again, exactly the same as with the Get Together Club. Try to have something different every time. Various trips out. Some of them are a day trip, some of them are only half day, some of them are theatres, and then a couple of holidays a year. There's the famous Thursford, which I do every year, which is in Norfolk. Thursford itself is a Christmas concert, for want of a better word. Absolutely fantastic show. They don't have curtains opening and closing. The show is absolutely continuous, and it's completely unique. There is nothing like it anywhere. And it's housed in a huge barn, and the stage is what was the hay baling platform, and it really is completely unique, the most wonderful show you've ever seen. I don't want to say too much about it because it would spoil it for anyone who hasn't been, because there are little surprises along the way throughout the show. And prior to the show we go into what is called Magic Wonderland, Santa's Magic Wonderland, and that is a pathway runs through a section of the building, and on either side there's figures of, say, penguins or polar bears, and they're life-size, but they're enacting. For instance, with the polar bears, there's one large polar bear laying down trying to have a sleep, and there's a little one climbing all over him trying to wake him up. And it really is a wonderful wonderland. It really is fantastic. And then next May I'm going to do a trip to Southern Ireland, Southern Ireland, the Ring of Kerry, and staying in a very good hotel. That really is going to be a brilliant, wonderful experience. Going on a horse-drawn jaunting car through the national park and onto the lakes of Killarney with a boat from there.
Wonderful.
And
wonderful.
Really packed holiday. Actually, you need a holiday when you come back from one of my holidays to take a holiday. And then the trips I've got coming up shortly, Eastbourne Air Show, and we've actually got seats on the promenade deck of the bandstand, and those seats are reserved for us, so we can go off and get our fish and chips and come back, and our seats are still there, and watch the air show.
That's a novelty in itself.
With actually being able to sit down somewhere, which is going to be brilliant.
Absolutely, yes.
And then autumn tints at Exbury, solar boat trip from Itchenor Harbour in October, and then I'm thinking again for next year, working on next year.
You'll need another holiday.
I'll need another holiday.
Well, thanks for coming in, June, and updating us on what you're involved in and what you're up to, and the trips indeed. And if people want to contact you and they don't know how can they get hold of you if they're interested in any of your trips? Or
Right. my telephone number is 01243 672 358, and my email address is june.stadius. I'll spell that. It's STADIUS june.stadius at mypostoffice.co.uk.
Right, so that's june.stadius at mypostoffice.co.uk.
You got it right, I got it wrong.
I was paying attention. I was just trying to prove that I was paying attention. Well, thanks once again, June, for coming in and having a chat to us.
My pleasure.
And, I'm sure we'll catch up with you in the future to find out what you're up to.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And now another talented lady, Gillian Plowman, tells us about 2 new plays for the Selsey Pavilion.
Now, with me now, I've got local playwright Gillian Plowman, and Gillian's going to be telling us about a couple of plays that are coming up at the Pavilion. Good morning, Gillian.
Good morning.
Now, a couple of new plays coming up at the Pavilion, The Ox and the Ass and Spindrift. What can you tell us about that?
Well, they're 2 very different plays, but they're taking place on the same stage in the Pavilion on the same evening. So you get 2 for the price of 1. And the magic happens when one space turns into another. So you watch one play with 2 characters, 2 lovely men. If you saw Charlie Chaplin play in the Pavilion recently, then the 2 men who played the young Charlie Chaplin, the young tramp, and the older Chaplin, the 70-year-old Chaplin, they're both in The Ox and the Ass. They're playing a father and son.
Very good they were in Chaplin,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
have to
you
say.
saw
I
it.
saw it, and I was
Excellent.
very impressed.
Well, you'll love them in this. There are different characters. There's the father who comes out of prison, and the son who puts him up, and there's a lot of confrontation and a lot of secrets, a lot of baggage is aired, and does reconciliation take place? Does the father change his stride? Does the leopard change his spots?
Don't give too much.
No,
away.
I won't. And then half time happens, and we all go and have a drink in the lovely Chaplin's, the coffee house, which will turn into our theatre foyer for the evening. And then we'll come and watch the seaside ghost story, Spindrift, set in, not actually in Selsey, but in somewhere like Selsey.
Is there anywhere like Selsey?
Just a little bit like Selsey in this place, Spindrift, yes. Yeah.
Now, this is happening on the 29th of July until the 3rd of August.
Mm-hmm.
Just one performance, well, it's not, it's 2 performances a night.
Yes.
But are there any matinees?
No, there aren't any matinees, mainly because although the cast are all jobbing actors, if you like, a lot of them are also working, and so we're just going for evening performances. And so it opens on Saturday. It opens on a Saturday, 29th of July. So that's going to be the big opening night, and then it goes through Sunday night and through the following week. It's actually the first week of the holidays
Of the festival, was it?
Yeah,
Right.
is it first week of the festival? I think it's the first week of the summer holidays anyway,
Yes,
when hopefully
indeed.
there'll be a lot of visitors in town and they'll see the posters.
And of course, both these plays are written by you.
Yes, I wrote them both, yes, yeah.
Because people might think, well, I've not heard those before. Well,
No.
that's because Gillian's not long written them, that's why. So it's not something you will have seen before. So
No, probably not. I mean, there have been drafts of them have been in my filing cabinet for some time. So we were looking for something just to keep the Pavilion active, because it's such a wonderful space. You want people to come to it and know what it's all about. And I'm sure that,
Absolutely. I
Pavilion
mean,
is-
I've seen other things that have been on there. But to actually start getting some proper drama,
Yes.
as I call it.
proper and professional drama. I mean, myself, I've had a lot of plays published and produced on the radio and in theatres in London, all over the world. In actual fact, I've had plays translated into Afrikaans and Mandarin, believe it or not. And I was sent
Don't
the
put those on, will you? We won't understand.
but I was sent the proofs to read, and I thought, there's no way I'm going to be able to proofread Mandarin or Afrikaans. And obviously I worked with professional directors and professional actors, and these young people that I'm working with now are in their own way professional. They're either studying drama, have studied drama. Ryan, for example, is a professional actor. He has his profile on the actor's profile. David, who was the older chaplain, has been a professional actor. He's an amazing physiotherapist, and he's going back into acting. So it is more than it's as I think I was explaining before we were recording. There's a lovely eclectic mix to Selsey, to its people, to its professions, to its place, and in its drama. It has the wonderful pantomime every year, and it has the End of the Pier show, and it has the Young People's Cloud9, the Young People's Theatre, and some wonderful talent. And so this is now straight drama, a straight play that hopefully will engross an audience and make people think about.
For what I always refer to as for proper theatre goers.
I
used to be one when I lived in Windsor. I used to go to the wife and I used to go to the theatre regularly at the Theatre Royal in Windsor, and I don't particularly like the festival theatre.
No.
So we tended to tail off and not go,
Yes.
To come and see something like this in a small local theatre.
It's a local theatre, which I think this small local theatre is going to make its mark, especially if and when the pavilion manages to become renovated. I mean, even after this play, Spindrift, if you saw Charlie in the Charlie Chaplin play, the young man who was the brother of Charlie is directing and producing The Dumb Waiter by Harold Pinter. 3 weeks after my plays are going on, it's going from Ploughman to Pinter, if you like. And so again, that's that sort of different straight drama level of drama that we're trying to introduce into the mix, into the fantastic mix that already exists in Selsey.
Well, I for one am definitely looking forward to it, so okay. I shall be along and get my tickets for that. And of course the tickets can be got from My House Insurance.
My House Insurance in the High Street. I should also say that this is an Arts Dream production. Arts Dream Selsey is the sort of arts charity that was founded in 2012 by Chris Butler, and is responsible for all sorts of artistic input now into Selsey, for the community, or for last night we had the most wonderful community choir concert. And there's another one next Wednesday, and that's all due to Arts Dream Selsey being founded and existing.
Well, it's certainly doing some good for the community of Selsey, that's for sure. And thanks for coming in,
You're
Gillian,
welcome.
and having a chat to us. I know you're very busy writing plays and things, and I'm sure it'll go down well, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of people disappointed at not being able to get tickets.
A ticket.
So,
well, if you've got yours, let me know what night you're coming and we'll look out for you.
Okay, that's lovely. Well, thanks very much.
Thank
Gillian,
you.
and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you very much.
It's really great to see the pavilion coming back to life. And with that, it's me done for another week, so it just remains for me to thank all our contributors, including Local Life magazine, our sound editor John Mallard, our presenters Alison, Kevin and Keith, not forgetting of course our producer John Fletcher. So it's goodbye from me, Tony Wiener, until next time, bye.